Hi everyone, this is Ben with mbti, and in this video we'll take a look at a useful interactive system that lets you easily work with very complex methodologies despite having little to no knowledge about them. Specifically, we'll be taking a look at a psychodiagnostic tool called HEXACO, which analyzes a person's character along 6 key personality traits. Normally, this methodology would require you to understand the entire manual intimately and read a fairly lengthy report on somebody's results in order to interpret a given personality profile. In this demo, the tool is being used in the context of the recruitment process for key roles within a large company. So the first thing you can see is the candidate's HEXACO profile on the left-hand side. We have our 6 main dimensions, and they each have a score from 1 to 100. When you open them, they also have 4 subscales, each scored from 1 to 100 as well. In the middle section, we have a custom summary with the key aspect our client wanted to focus on, for example, change management, collaboration, and so on. And on the bottom, we are generating a few hints as to what you could be asking our bot first. So for example, you could be asking, what are the advantages and risks for the position? And then you could just simply choose the position the candidate is applying for. So in this case, we are choosing the question, describe in detail the strengths and development areas of the competence cooperation. And what you'll see is the system generating a concise summary of the strengths and development areas for this candidate, broken down nicely into the main scales. You'll notice the answers are not generic. They are really tailored and highly relevant, with a nice little summary at the end just in case you don't really feel like reading too much. And you can obviously dig in deeper, so let's move on to the next question here. Given that we're dealing with a psychodiagnostic instrument, you can also ask our system to help you prepare meaningful behavioral questions for the interview. For example, you can ask how to behaviorally verify strengths and inquire about risk areas. And again, you get a highly tailored response, including particular questions that dig into some of these important aspects. For example, you get a question that targets fairness and greed avoidance, and our bot even explains the reasoning behind that question. You'll also get questions on risk areas, like asking for an example of how the candidate dealt with a frustrating situation at work, and again, with the purpose explained each time. Obviously, you don't have to stick to the pre-prepared question tips. You can also ask your own questions. So you can even throw a curveball, like here I'm asking, how can I best fire a teammate? Now, the HEXACO personality inventory doesn't cover how to fire people, so what you'll get here is a more generic answer, I would say. It's probably the only instance of an answer in this video that is going to be a bit more generic. But the one thing that's important to mention is that the system will not hallucinate and make up answers that aren't in the original source file. So if I ask it a completely out-of-the-box question, like what would be the best way to bake a birthday cake for my wife, the answer I'll get is basically, this is not covered with HEXACO, and I can't help you with that. And this is actually a very important point, because this is a key distinguishing factor between just using ChatGPT as a source of information as opposed to our system, because we basically ensure that there are no hallucinations and that all of the answers that the system gives can somehow be traced back to the original source files. So there's not going to be answers that are entirely made up or that are misleading or untrue even. And that's it for this demo. Obviously, instead of the HEXACO personality inventory, you can use any other personality test, or you can even use any other knowledge domain. It doesn't have to be a psychodiagnostic tool. It can be basically anything that contains a large amount of knowledge, and you want some easy interactions over it, and you want this AI facilitator to guide you through that knowledge. If you want more information, please don't hesitate to get in touch.